Alright, so I'm going to start this video where we stopped the last one on my calls. So, coming to my calls, basically what's going to be populated over here is calls that either Scott has populated for you, which can be done by, say, different accounts, and or ones that you have kind of made yourself throughout time. So, like I was saying, this isn't an end all be all of all the people that you're going to call for the day, because like I said, it's really important in the morning to kind of look at those analytics that we just went over as far as who ordered last year that hasn't ordered this year, and who's bought this month, who hasn't, things like that. So you're going to go to an account here, and this kind of shows at the bottom what we talked about on the last call. Tells you the name of the place, tells you your contact, so who you're going to talk to. I always kind of like to double check who this is, and you can see more in the notes. There's the telephone number. So here is where you're going to go to kind of view more about historical calls. So you're going to go in there. This is going to tell you a lot more about the customer. So you'll see the name of the customer, the account ID, so this is how kind of everything's managed. You'll see the address, phone number, their class. This is very important, especially when you're talking prices with people. So you can see their class over here, which obviously differentiates their prices. So that is there. And then when you go into contacts, this will show you who you contact, any email address for any follow-up things that the customer might need. And then here are our call history notes. So I'm going to go ahead and make a disclaimer for you. When I first started, they just really didn't care what the note said as long as I could decipher what it said. That was all that mattered. So you will see countless grammar, misspellings, everything across the board when it comes to my notes, because I literally type them, don't reread them, and just submit them. So just to keep the process moving as quick as possible. But hopefully you can kind of figure that out. So this kind of tells you when you called, and then all of the notes are here. So after a call, when you kind of go in here, what you're going to do, you're going to click Add Call Note. Okay, so right there in the right corner, you're going to have the call date. You don't need to touch this. This already populates for you. Call duration, you're going to put here. So the call is like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. You just put that in right there. I always kind of look after I make the call. And then what we're calling about. So if it's someone that we haven't called before, prospect call, account call, campaign call. I usually say account call, unless I know that they had told me last time we talked that they were going to place an order, then there's calling for order. I'm sure Scott might have you do some sort of thing where you're just calling about Design Master, so that'll be notated here. And all of these kind of can be searched later on, which kind of makes it nice to kind of filter through and easy to keep track of certain things. Or if the customer placed an order, you will put that here. And then needs follow-up call, which is usually kind of more what we'll see. Give feedback, so something important. And then if someone wants additional information. Anyways, just type quick, type fast. As long as it's remotely legible, that's kind of all we care about. But I don't really want you spending time on, oh, is this grammar correct? Is all this legible? I mean, it's not really that big of a deal, but just get down as much as you possibly can kind of in this note thing without taking too much time and just kind of breezing right through it. You just kind of want to put down what you remember about the call. And then for our next action, so you're going to have usually call back. And then what you do, you have to click this arrow over. And what this is going to do when you do this is it will populate. Say I put this in for tomorrow. What it's going to do is populate on our main calls page for you to call them tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. You can change the time here. You can do it by this. You can type it in. You can kind of do whatever is easiest for you. And then down here at the bottom, we have what's called an allocate notes to. So if you just click this arrow, it will send you an email about this whole note. So I do that especially with kind of like important things, or if I have to send an email or a follow-up, just kind of keep things in a separate place so it's more on the top of my mind. Or say if I need Brandy to send this person a catalog, I'll click Brandy in there. Or if I need my dad to know something, it's very important, I'll click him, because what's going to happen is they're going to get an email and you're going to get an email about this whole call. Say we're out of stock on something, and or something had to be changed, and you'll put Scott in there. And then when you're done, you just click add, and then what's going to happen is it'll just kind of disappear, and then you'll go back to your other tab. Unfortunately, you kind of have to go back this way, so by the tabs at the top. And then when you're done calling them, you're going to go archive call. And what this does is it kind of makes it go out into space, so it's not sitting in your things. As you can kind of see, I had mine kind of all just sitting there. I don't really press archive call a lot, but you're definitely going to want to, so it shows up off your list here and it's just easier to keep track of. And yes, so that's what you'll do for that, and you'll go through all your calls. And then that's when I also go back through anyone that I had noted for the day to call based on the analysis that we did earlier, and I call them as well.